Last time out in Evansville, Tim Johnson and the Miss Tri-Cities attained perfection, cashing in on a spotless 1,700-point night to enter the conversation for the National High Point standings. While at the front of the field, the U1 Cheerios and the U10 Matt Johnson designs continue to set themselves apart as the class of the Roostertail Talk presents SNHL Division I field. Can Tim Johnson make it another perfect race in Madison? We'll find out soon enough. The Indiana Governor's Cup Final is next. Hello everyone, my name is Daryl Kinsey Jr. Welcome to Madison. We're getting into the halfway point of the season. That means two things. First, the run for the National High Points Championship really starts heating up. And number two, the run to stay out of the bottom 5 relegation spots also heats up as drivers try to stay in Roostertail Talk presents SNHL Division I. Before we get to all of that, we of course have to thank our sponsor. Roostertail Talk is the presenting sponsor of the Roostertail Talk Presents Saturday Night Hydroplane League. Join host David Newton on a weekly tour through the fastest sport on the water as Newton sits down with some of the personalities that make this sport great. For more information and to listen to past episodes, head on over to roostertailtalk.com. Division II has already rounded the halfway pole in the 2021-2022 season. Let's see how their race in Madison went in this edition of the D2 Update. And in the D2 edition of the Indiana Governor's Cup, it was Brian Ollinger and the Miss Presley May picking up the win in Madison. While it was an impressive effort for the U26, it was also an incredible race for Scott Garner and the U59 Bud Light Knight, who went from the trailer position to a career-best second on the day, assisted by a lap 1 blowover from Neil Dismang in the U92 Dutch Brothers Coffee. D2 returns to the water at Detroit for the President's Cup as the run for the transfer spots to Division I heats up. As we come into this race here at Madison, Tim Johnson is picked up right where he left off in Evansville. Coming into the night, he qualified first at a qualifying speed of 164.348 miles per hour and has won all 3 of his qualifying heats. Now, Tim is the first driver since DJ Miller in 2019 to go perfect. Nobody has done it twice in a row. Can the U50 Miss Tri-Cities be the boat to do it? Well, let's find out. We're going to have 5 boats on the front line. 1 boat will be the trailer for 6 boats on the water in total. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time for those most famous words in simulated unlimited hydroplane racing. Officials, let's turn them loose! 6 unlimited hydroplanes come to life and head out onto this 2.5-mile course. We'll take a look at how everyone got here in just a moment as the boats head out onto the water. You can see there Bo Rarick, the first boat out onto the course. There goes Tim Johnson. We'll be talking about him in a little bit later. And we've got 3 boats waiting there at the dock. That is Eddie Canfouche, Jarrett Meyer, and Scott Prisbilski. But first, let's get into how the rest of the boats got here. First, we got Tim Johnson, as we said in the opening, on a bid for perfection. Qualified first, won all 3 of his qualifying heats. He's on 1,300 points. And Bo Rarick on 1,055 points in the U2 bucket list fully loaded. Qualified 8th, went 1st, 3rd, and 1st in qualifying heats this evening. Next is Jarrett Meyer in the day's pay. Qualified 7th, had a 4th in Heat 1C. Rebounded in the next 2 qualifying heats to get here on 899 points. And Eddie Canfouche, our national high points leader, won all 3 of his qualifying heats after qualifying 4th. He's on 1,260 points. Matt Johnson Design is trying to chase him down. He's 3rd in qualifying, went first, second in his qualifying heats. He's on 1,170 points. And our trailer is the game maker. Scott Prispilsky qualified 5th, 2nd in Heat 1A, finished 3rd and 4th in his other qualifying heats. Won the Connie to be here as a trailer on 744 points. As they head around the course, you see there Bo Rarick in the bucket list fully loaded, already starting to troll. As we ride along now with Tim Johnson, heading down the front stretch here at Madison. An interesting course this is with the long egg shape with this tight turn 1 and a more traditional turn 2. When we get to the start, this turn right here going to be a problem as Tim heads into turn number 1. Meanwhile, Bo Rarick continues to sit there at the last straightaway buoy before turn number 1. And Eddie Canfouche, is he going to join him right along here? He's going to go right around the outside, head into turn number 1. And he's going to be joined by Jarrett Meyer in the Day's Pay as they head on around. Look at the top there. I believe that's Tim Johnson. May try to cut the course there, but Day's Pay and Cheerios continue along. It's Matt Johnson Design also brings to turn number 1. Bo, our earliest taker of the trolling party. As we've seen this season with the new physics, boats tend to stay at speed during this trolling period. Try to get, or sorry, not the trolling period, during the milling period, as they try to get that run around the outside. We've seen that work to good effect this season. We'll see if it works again here as it's under 2 minutes to go, and Eddie Canfouche finally brings the U1 Cheerios to a stop. He's going to join Bo Rarick there at the entrance to turn number 1. One straightaway buoy from that entrance to turn number 1. Meyer looks like he's going to try and bring this boat to a stop, but it's only going to be a brief hold there, 35 seconds until the 1 minute pin. He's going to join Eddie and Bo there at the bottom of your screen. At the top of the picture, the Johnson brothers are on a charge. We hear a boat spooling up. I believe that's bucket list fully loaded. He's going to be the first to get underway as Meyer's going to bring that boat to a crawl. He stays in it, though. Starts to try and get back up on plane. Bo Rarick's moving as well. Eddie Canfouche is going to be a little bit late as the Johnson brothers are streaking down towards this turn number 1. Tim Johnson's there in lane number 1. Matt Johnson's in lane number 5 as they head through turn number 1 with 5 seconds until the 1 minute pin. Tim comes screaming through lane number 1 as we are 2 seconds. 1 second mark. It's a good score up. Fight for lanes begins. And the fight for lanes begins. You ride along with the U1 Eddie Canfouche. He's out there in about lane number 4, we'll say. He was a little bit late there to that score up as Tim Johnson has got lane number 1. Bo Rarick's in lane number 2. Eddie Canfouche is going to be able to get over to lane number 3 as they come down to the commitment buoy, that last straightaway buoy before the entrance to turn number 2. It will be Miss Tri-Cities in 1. Bucket list fully loaded in 2. Cheerios in lane 3. Day's Pay in 4, and Matt Johnson Design. If he wants to win this race, he'll have to get it done from the outside. So they come around turn number 2 at about 18 seconds. They should be able to stand on it now and head down to the start-finish line. They come under the bridge. 5 unlimited hydroplanes at full song because we're under 10 seconds. Head toward the start-finish line buoy, and it's going to be Eddie Canfouche who's going to get down here first in the U1 Cheerios as the race is underway. It's a good start in 5 unlimited hydroplanes scream into turn number 1, and it's the U1 Cheerios from lane number 3 taking the lead, but Tim Johnson's got that all-important lane number 1. It's got the shortest way around, and it looks like he's going to have clean water in front of him as the U50 has the lead. We look to the right side. There's the U1 Cheerios starting to dig out on the outside. We know Eddie Canfouche, he's loved these outside lanes here in this new version, and he's starting to make that boat speed work for him. Look at that U1 just fly down the back stretch, and the U1 Cheerios go streaking into the lead as we head into turn number 2 for the first time. U1 and U50 have separated themselves from the U2 as the bucket list fully loaded was in the tunnel. But they come off turn 2, the U50 and the U1 do side by side, and Eddie Canfouche is right there. It's a third of a boat length as they head down the start finish line straight, heading to put lap number 1 in the books. You see Eddie Canfouche rocking those spots in side to side as he leads the way in the U1 Cheerios. Miss Tri-Cities is second. Matt Johnson Design is third. The race for perfection is still on as the Miss Tri-Cities actually bears out of lane number 1, goes through the rooster tail wash of the U1, heads out into lane number 3, somehow holds on, but is going to lose a whole lot of boat speed and surrender the inside lane to the U1 Cheerios. The U50 couldn't hold on to turn number 1, gets kicked to the outside, and it's the U1 Cheerios that takes advantage. So if Tim Johnson is going to make a race for perfection, he has got to get on his horse in the next 3.5 laps and find some way to catch Eddie Canfouche from the outside as they exit turn number 2 and head down the front stretch again. The advantage is about a rooster tail and a third for this U1. Our defending national high points champion Eddie Canfouche leads the way in the U1 Cheerios. Miss Tri-Cities is second, and Matt Johnson Design is third. So it's a Canfouche leading the Johnson brothers as they head into turn number 1. Our trailer, Scott Przybylski, is moved up into a battle for fourth between himself and Bo Rarick as they head into turn number 1. And we will come back to our leader now, Eddie Canfouche. He's already about a third of the way down the back stretch. Got some good speed out of that U1. Got the salt scoop on there. That is more for aesthetics than anything. This Ohio River is a lot of things as Eddie Canfouche almost sent that boat to the stratosphere. Managed to hold on to it as he comes through turn number 2. But as we were saying, that salt scoop that you see there on the front, that is more for decoration here at Madison, as it really doesn't keep out any salt particles because this Ohio River isn't salty, but that doesn't mean it's free of particulates as we start lap number 4 with the U1 continuing to lead the way. And this river has had everything in it from dead cows to refrigerators to a whole bunch of storm-related debris like we saw in the real H1 Unlimited season earlier this year. As we continue on with the race, heading into lap number 4, battle for fourth is heating up between Scott Przybylski and Bo Rarick, but we'll jump back to our leader, Eddie Canfouche. Well, Tim Johnson, he had a heat winning streak of 7 going. Don't think it's going to be 8 for 8 as Eddie still rocking those Sponsons. Heading down the back stretch, heads into turn number 2. Beautiful turn there for Canfouche as he's extended the lead to about a rooster tail and a half as he comes down the front stretch. White flag going to be in the air one more time around for Eddie Canfouche in the U1 Cheerios, our defending national high points champion, looking to extend his lead over the U10 and the U50 as we head in to that final lap. Heading into turn 1, U1 leads the way. There is U50 Miss Tri-Cities, and perfection is slipping away for Tim Johnson, and Matt Johnson Design is third. He looks like he's going to lose a little bit of ground in this national high points race. And this battle for fourth has been electric all race long. Scott Przybylski has that position by about half a rooster tail, but we jump back to our leader and Eddie Canfouche. Well, he saw Tim Johnson go out there and be perfect this evening in Madison. If he was going to gain some points, he was going to need to find a way to stop that perfection. He got it done from the outside, managed to take the lead away, and as we head down the front stretch, checkered flag is in the air, and the perfection streak will stop at 7. Eddie Canfouche in the U1 Cheerios takes the win in the Indiana Governor's Cup. Second, going to be the U50 of Miss Tri-Cities and Tim Johnson, so there will be no second straight perfect race. Matt Johnson Design is going to come across the line in third. Now let's check out this titanic battle for fourth. I believe that's going to go to Scott Przybylski. Yes, it will! By about half a rooster tail. The Mr. Pringles, and I know it's Buckless Fully Loaded that actually takes that position for fourth. Day's Pay is going to be fifth. Mr. Pringles is going to be sixth, so there may have been a penalty there on a jump by the Mr. Pringles. And yes, it was a jump, as you see there on the final results screen. So that is how the Indiana Governor's Cup will wrap up. Now we'll get a look at the point standings here in just a moment. here are those points on your screen. Eddie Canfuch continues to hold the lead. Tim Johnson moves up to third over DC presents Deft DJ Miller. You can see there on the bottom of your screen your relegation and promotion watches as we head into the second half of the season. Well, the streak for a second straight perfect race is over. Eddie Canfuch is the one that dashed Tim Johnson's hopes. Let's speak to him. Well, you talked about it earlier. The biggest problem was the starts. I think you saved the best start for last here tonight.
Yeah, I fixed it. Oh, man, that was fun. Holy. Those guys are so fast. And that was rough. I almost lost it under the bridge on like the third lap, I think, maybe the fourth. That was some good racing there. I was a little late to the score up, later than I wanted to be, but I think everyone else was a little off their marks too. Was able to stick it into lane 3 and hit a good start there. And I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. Tim was super fast on the inside. Luckily, I was able to clear Bo in lane 2 pretty quick and hold Tim in tight, make him scrub speed. I know he came unhooked in the one turn, ended up on the outside, and from there I controlled the course even more and was able to back down a little bit at the end when I got far enough ahead, but you're always on edge in a final like that, and I'm really happy with how it went.
Yep, you're able to extend the points lead there to 446 points, but most importantly, you also ended that crazy run that Tim Johnson was on.
Dude, he's so fast, man. He has some setup secrets that I don't think anyone else is ballsy enough to try. So he's making it work for himself, and he's going to be really tough to beat for the rest of the year. I'm happy I was able to keep the beast at bay this final.
All right, well, Eddie, congratulations. We will see you next year when we pull into Detroit.
All right. Thank you very much, Daryl. And thanks, everyone, for watching. And again, thank you, Daryl, for running the stream. We're really glad to have you around.
You're welcome. Well, that'll do it from here in Madison. Next time out, though, it's the big one. We're back in Detroit, Michigan for the richest trophy in simulated hydroplane racing, the Easton Eagles Entertainment SNHL Gold Cup. Cannot wait to get that race to you. We've got a lot of fun things planned up. You're going to have to join us January 22nd, 2022. We'll get started at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on UHL Hydroplanes. Make sure you join us then. So, for our video editor, Mickey Washburn, and the creator of HydroSim, Scott Przybylski, my name is Daryl Kinsey Jr., the voice of the Saturday Night Hydroplane League. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time out in Detroit. Have a wonderful evening.